Hello dear students, in today's video we are going to discuss the new chapter light. So we all know that sun is a source of light. Sun gives us light and light is actually a form of energy which helps us to see different things around you. Suppose if you are entering into a dark room, so you will not be able to see the things around you. Suppose light is actually a form of energy which will give us the sensation of sight. And similarly, there are different phenomena associated with light. The one such phenomenon is known as reflection. So what do you mean by reflection? Suppose if you might have seen your image, your own image on a mirror. So that means how you are able to see the image, because the light rays upon striking the mirror is getting reflected back. So the reflected rays which you are seeing, suppose similarly if you throw a ball to the wall, so you can see the ball will bounce back. So similarly we can define reflection as the bouncing back of light after all striking a surface. So the surface can be smooth or polished, or it can be irregular, just like the board surface. So it is, even though it looks smooth, it is not that smooth. Suppose a plain mirror, the surface of a plain mirror can be considered, or surface of a glass. So that can be considered as a smooth surface. So what are the things? So look at this diagram. Here I have drawn a mirror, this line with markings, shades. So this actually represents a mirror. And here I have drawn one more line. This represents a ray of light. The ray of light, that is, I have put an arrow mark which is pointing towards the mirror. So this line represents the incident ray. So the light which is falling onto the mirror. And similarly, I have drawn another line, another ray that is going away from the surface of the mirror. So this line actually indicates the reflected ray. And one more line you can see over here, that line is called normal. So which actually makes an angle 90 degree with the reflecting surface, which means the mirror. And again you can see the angle formed between the incident ray and the normal. So that is called angle of incidence. Say for example, if it is 30 degree, the angle formed between incident ray and the normal. If the angle of incidence, if that is 30 degree, and the angle of reflection means the angle formed between normal and the reflected ray. That also should be 30 degree. So that is the first law of reflection. So which means it says that the incident angle of incidence and angle of reflection, that will be equal. The angle of incidence will be always equal to angle of reflection. So listen once more. The incident ray, that is the ray which is, or the ray of light that is falling towards the mirror, then after striking the mirror, the ray will bounce back or get reflected. So this is the path of the incident ray. Then after striking the mirror, it will reflect along this direction. So we can see that direction is getting changed. Earlier the light ray was traveling in this direction. So after striking the mirror, it got changed into another direction. And similarly, the angle, when we consider the angle formed between the incident ray and the normal. So that is called angle of incidence. And angle formed between the normal and the reflected ray, that is called angle of reflection, or angle R. So these two angles will be equal in all the cases. And the second law of reflection, that says that the incident ray, the normal at the point of incidence, and the reflected ray all lies on the same plane. So here we can see, if you look at the board, the surface of the board is a single plane, or a same plane. So if you consider another plane means if I keep this textbook just like this, so the surface of the body is one plane and the surface of the textbook, that is another plane. So if you consider the y axis, so this will be x axis. So similarly, so if the ray of light that is tracing along this particular plane, then upon striking the mirror, so the ray of light will be tracing along the surface of the board. So that means the incident ray, the reflected ray and the normal all lies on the same plane. So these are the two laws of reflection. I hope you understood this particular topic and read the textbook well. And if you have got any doubt, you can ask to me. Okay, study well.